2 years ago, I had Bosso Lighting install permanent outdoor lighting on my home, and since then it has been amazing. They reached out to me recently and said, hey, we have a new update. We have our own app that you can now use to control your lights. Previously, they were using the WLED open source lighting for this type of lighting, but now they have developed their own lighting. So they reached out to me, they installed it in my system on my controller, and now I have full access to it. And so I've been testing it out for the last month, and I'm here to show you all that it can do. So if you do want to go ahead and add this to your system, upgrading it from the previous WLED system that you were using before, I'll leave the number that you can call down in the description so that you can call them and get them installed. And of course, if you want this awesome system at your home, if you live in a supported area, you can also call down below to get them come out and install it and get a bid and everything like that. So let's go ahead and check out the Bosso Lighting app and see some of the benefits that this has. So right here is the new app. It is available on Apple App Store as well as the Google Play Store. So jumping into the system here, we have our system at the top, so our Bosso lights, and we can easily turn it on and off right here. And then here we have the controls for the brightness. So I can change the whole system brightness there. We can go down to medium, pretty low right there. Now, I love how simple that control is. So you can actually have 10 different controllers connected to your app. So if you have 10 homes or 10 businesses that you're using these on, you would be able to come in here and control all of this system. Now, another huge update with this versus the WLED controller is this is able to be used without being on the direct local network. So if I turn off my Wi-Fi, I'll still be able to control the lights from away, which is really awesome that it's now not based locally on the network. If your system is showing a red light here instead of a green, that means that your controller is unplugged or turned off. So all you need to do is refresh the app. And then once we go back in, now that the power to the controller is on, there we are showing a green light that it is ready to be used. Now here in the settings, you do have some options where you can change the name. You can set this one as the default system, update time zone, set latitude and longitude, and some other edit settings for the installer when they install it. But pretty much it's gonna be just like this once you get it installed. And then down here, it will show your zone. So you'll show how many lights you have. So I have 508 lights on my home. So at first it was set to 1 to 508. And here I can simply turn that on and off. But the zone option is really cool because you can specify certain types of your home that you want to control. So I've set up 2 zones. I have top and bottom. So let's say we want to turn off the top set of lights. Just like that, it has turned off the top row. And this is actually really easy to set up. And then we'll be able to control just a specific set of lights. And then we can also set schedules for those lights. I think this would be really handy if maybe you had the lights in your backyard and you just want the ones illuminated in the backyard for that, or you want different scenes going at the same time. You can make some really cool options with this. And then you just have to go out there. Let's say we want to create a new zone. We would name the zone. And then we would come down here and we would start at the first LED light that we want and then go to the end. You can't have overlapping zones with lights, so it just takes a little bit of fiddling with to find the exact number of what light the bottom row ends and then the top row starts. So really easy to get set up. Once you have it done, you hit save, it pops up here, and now we have both those zones, and there you can see when I turn it on, works great. So now let's jump into the different scenes that we have. This is so cool because there are a ton of different scenes and it's so easy to use compared to the other app. So right here at the top, we have the system that we're going to control. So we're doing the entire system right now. Or if I wanted to control just one of my zones, I could select that as well. And then here you can change your system if you do have multiple systems. So we're gonna just save it that right now we're controlling the entire system. And then here you have all of these different categories that you can control. Let's jump in and check out the accent lighting system. So right here, we have 10 by 10, and they have this little home here, and it's showing exactly what the lights will do before we even apply it to the home. So we can go through here and see some of these different options. You can see the white level of the color has changed. So we have a warm white, there we have the normal white, and then you have like a 2x1 pattern. And if I find one that I like, so as I'm going through here, let's try out this 2x2 warm. I hit apply to the home, and boom, it is on the home, looks beautiful. And then you think there's only 6 here, but you can actually scroll down and they have a ton of different options here. So if I want accent white, go apply it. There you can see it's changed. We want the warm, every other. Apply it, boom. Tons and tons of different options to adjust here. Maybe we want just a little more or a little less lights out there for some simple lighting. If you want security lights, soft tones, and these are all pretty stagnant. We'll get to some that are more advanced in a minute, but those are the accent lights. If I tap default again, that's going to take me back to my set here. And we have these in an alphabetical order, so it's really easy to find. If I want to go to my America category, again, we can see some of these there. This is an animated one. We apply that, instantly applies, and we can go through and find all kinds of different fun options there. So I love how we have the home picture to see what it is before we even apply it to your home. Now, once you apply it to the home, it is set. And so once you turn off the lights and turn them back on, it will automatically go to what you have applied. So it's super simple that you don't have to go in and readjust what it's going to be for the next day. But then we can also create schedules that we'll get to in a little bit to specify what is going to happen at certain times of the day or even certain months. So those are the options there. Going back here, some of the other favorite ones, let's go to let's just jump in and check out a few of these. So here we have a birthday one. Let's see, this birthday 2 looks pretty cool. So you can see how it just changes the whole look of the home. I like that they have these gender reveal ones. So it's going to show 2 different colors out on the home. And then as soon as you want to reveal what it is, you can tap, it's going to be a boy, and hit apply to the house, and boom, everyone knows that it's a boy. Here we have another birthday party one. So there are a ton of these. Can't show every single one of them in this video, but enough to keep me busy for a while. Here we have a few Christmas options. Let's go ahead. We have just a simple one called Bells. That looks really nice. Here we have Candy Cane, where it's a little animated, nice, soft, and subtle. And then let's go ahead and try one of these called Rudolph. Ooh, I like how this has the red, green, and white. Fun to have all of those colors in one. Now, any of these you'll be able to adjust to your own presets. I'll show you how to do that again in a minute. Lots to talk about. But here we have all kinds of sports, party, holidays, many other things that you would want throughout the year. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. So let's go ahead and turn on one of these just to see what that's like. So really fun colors, brightening up the entire home. So let's say we want to have 2 different patterns on my home because I have my 2 different zones. So I'm going to come up here to the top, and I'm going to select the bottom zone and tap save. And then I'm going to find one of these I want, and we'll hit apply to home. And then I'm going to go up here to the top and deselect the bottom, unselect the bottom, and tap save. And then we'll find another one, maybe go the other way, and hit apply to the home. And there you can see the different patterns on the house at once. This is really fun. You can come up with some great ways to use this, or if you just want to have certain sections not on at certain times of the year, you can have them in a zone that's not on, and then you can have just the certain level at maybe at night or whatever you want. So a lot of options with the zones and being able to set your own presets. Then if I go and I find another, let's say we go to the party here, and I want to change it to the entire system. So tap save. And then once I find a party one that I want to use, there we go. We have the rainbow. Then it changes both the zones so that all the house is back to the same. Everything is working together. So those are the presets. Again, ton of different options there. Now over here, I do have my presets. So these are ones that I have created. I've made a simple double green, double red, so I can apply that. I can even come in here now and I can rename it. I can update the icon. So if I want to find something that matches Christmas a little bit more, I can save it just like that. And then we have some other ones there. So now let me show you how you can go in and create your own presets to make it exactly the way you want it, or you can adjust a preset that's already made to make it more personalized to you. So down here, the middle button, this is where we can go in and personalize and customize our entire system. So again, at the top, we have the options to choose what zone we're going to do. So we're going to do the entire system here. Then we can go through and select a preset if we want. So if we want to start from something that's already made and adjust it, we can do that here. We can also go to our custom and adjust those. I love that it's already able to take something that's made and change it. And then we can add different effects. So these are the motions. So here we have solid, blink, breathe, rainbow, twinkle, dissolve, a ton of different presets available for that. And then here we have our system. It's not showing up yet until I tap the drop down, and now every single light is showing up for my system. Now it would take a long time to change every single light bulb, so there's a way where you can just change a few light bulbs and then set the command to repeat, and it will adjust them for all 508 lights that I have in my home. So if I go through and I'm gonna tap select, then I'm gonna choose the lights I want. So let's make this where it's changing from white to red to green to white, sure. And I can come down here, change the color. So we have a specific color that we want, or we can go in here to the middle and choose a white. Or down here we have some default colors, or you can set your own colors and you can adjust the white level. So I hit apply, and there we've changed those. So let's go ahead and make a white, green, and red pattern. So I select the ones that I want there, hit repeat, and boom, it has now applied that to all 508 lights so that I don't have to go through and do that to every single one. So now I can apply it to the home to test it out, see if this is something that I would want to have. If this looks good, I'm gonna come up here to the top and tap save. And we're gonna call this white, green, red, and save it as a new preset. Very simple to do. Now let's go and adjust one of the presets that have already been made. So I can go in here and I can go to predefined presets. So we could go under the NCAA, choose a local sports team, and then we can start adjusting this. So here we have colors only. Oh, and they have all kinds of different effects that you can use in here. So just like that, it has changed what that entire effect looks like. So very handy, and that's when you have effects applied here. If we do none, it's gonna go back to this. So let's say we want to select. You always have to hit select first. Choose the ones you want to change. So we're going to change these to white, and then I'm going to select two more, change these to blue, and we could go and critique the blue a little bit. If you know the hex code, you have the option to apply it there. So now we have our colors, and I'm going to select them all, hit repeat, and now we have a full set there. Apply to the home. Check this out. That looks great. So I'm going to hit save, BYU. And then that will save. You can't use a name that's already there. So there we can say BYU blue or BYU blue and white, whatever it might be. And now we have those. So if I go to my presets, if I change it to another option, I go back into preset, and there we have my BYU blue. I can go in again, update the icon, and because I love the bowling, so we're going to add the bowling on there. Makes it really custom to what I like. So as you can see, so simple to use and very powerful. Now, the one thing I want to do is create my own custom white pattern. This is something that I love, the patterns in the WLED app. There's one or two that I can't find in the new app, so I can just go in and make my own. So I'm going to go through and select all like that, and hit reset, and that resets all the lights. And then I'm going to go through and choose, we're going to keep the first one blank, and then we're going to choose these two. I have to go in here, white level. So that's kind of like the more warmish white. And so you'll have to kind of play with this to find exactly what you like. And then we can choose the brightness. So I want these to be like 50% bright. And it's best if you're outside to see what those colors look like, to make sure they match what you like. And then here I'm going to choose this middle one. And then I'm going to go and make a brighter option there and apply. Okay, so now we're going to select these. And if I hit repeat, there we have this cool custom accent pattern. I'm going to apply it to the home, see if that's what I like, and that looks amazing. So here I'm going to save it as accent warm white. Save as a new preset. There you go. Love how simple that was. So one more thing you could do here, again, we want to select all, reset, and if you want to do it every single color, or maybe you just want like the corners of your home to be lit up for security lighting, you could go through and choose one, I've even gone through and written out every single light bulb and where it is on my home. So a little obsessive there, but that's helpful if I want to go through and maybe I only want the corners to be lit up. So I can go through, choose the color I want here, find the next light. If you select them all and you don't want them all selected, hit done, select again. So I can choose the next light, choose the color, and then I can find just like the corners of the home to add some nice security lighting to the home. So a ton of different options there. Now let's go back and check out a couple of preset effects that we can use. So here I've loaded a jelly beans preset. So there's no effect on this. It's just showing the different colors on the home. So here, if we go in and add a preset, depending on the preset, it might change your colors or need you to select new colors. So here I went with Chase, and I can go through and select a few different color options here. I like these presets down at the bottom. And then you can adjust the warm level, the speed effect, as well as the width, and apply it to the home and see what that looks like before you save it. Now over here, there's some other effects within the effects. So we can go to colors only, and then we can go through and choose the effect. And then we can go through and choose the effect colors, apply it, and you can see what that's like. So there are so many effects here, super impossible to show you today everything it can do. But if you want a more detailed video of all the effects, let me know. Now let's go ahead and talk about how you would create a schedule for your light. So up here at the top of the schedule, we have the option to control what system. So I'm going to create a new schedule, and then we're just going to call this one Christmas. And here you can select whatever preset you want to use. So I'm going to go through and select my custom one, the white, green, and red. So here we can apply it to our system. So you have your individual system, and then you have your different zones down here. So we're just going to keep it at the entire system. Tap save. And then here you can select a start and end time. So I really want it to start at sunset. That's my favorite option. The sun goes down, lights turn on, amazing. And then I like to have it end at a specific time. So I can just come in here. Let's say they end at 10:30 p.m. And then I can even choose the date at which these are going to run. So we're just gonna set this one for December 1st to the 30th of December, 31st of December. And then we can have it repeat every day. And you can even preview it to make sure it's the one you want. Hit schedule, and now that has been set. So come December, I don't have to worry about it. It's automatically going to change to the scene I want for that month. So you could go through and create one of these for every month of the year, certain people's birthdays, and have a bunch of different options right within the app. And to delete a schedule, you can just swipe over and then tap the garbage can there. And yes, we want to delete it. And then you can easily tap on it to go through and edit and save after you've made your adjustments. And so that is pretty much all the new features that you get with the new Bosso Lighting app. I think this is a full suite of features that perfectly complement the amazing lights that they have installed on the home. I really love these lights because they have that warm to nice white and then all the colors in between. And then here you do have the settings where you can go through and edit your profile, refer your friends, and even look up the user manual, but I think I've covered that pretty well right here today. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is how this can work if you are not on your home internet. So over here, I have another device that currently is not on my Wi-Fi network. You can see I have my system right here. I can turn it off and it's going to turn off the lights at home, turn it back on. I can go in and adjust a preset. So let's go through and go with a Bosso Lighting one here. So there we go, nice color. Works just fine, all without internet. So it's great that we now have that remote access where we weren't able to do that before. And so that is the new Bosso Lighting app. I'm so pleased with how this works. It's made the system even better than it was before. So if you have the system, make sure you check out the link down in the description below to contact them so that they can come out and install this in your system. And if you're looking for some great permanent outdoor lightings to your home and you don't want to get up there on the ladder and you want to have someone install it, I can highly recommend Bosso, as this has been a great system for 2 years. If you have any further questions, please let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.